Good morning, everybody. All I see is Justin's big head. I mean that with the utmost respect.
It could be a different view, but we're not going to talk about that.
It looked the same.
I'm sure.
It's weird. It's not, normally it shows me at the top who's here. I see Bobby's here. I see Patricia, Mariana, Takoya, Crystal, see Cottoner. I'm just gonna give it another minute or so, and then we'll get started. I did shave since the last Q&A. Okay, it's 11:02. I usually like to wait a couple more minutes. Let's go ahead and get started. This is the Tuesday morning Q&A. Um, it is October 14th. I'm Johnny Downie, one of the Cornerstone mentors. Justin's here. He's another one of our mentors. It looks like he's on duty as a firefighter. I've been with Cornerstone almost a year now, been a mentor almost as long. Uh, This is your Q&A, your time to answer or ask questions and for me to try and answer them. If not, I'll find the answer for you or we can do it together. Sometimes other people that are in the Zoom can help as well. So with that said, um, anything goes. So if you have a question about how to book something, how to run your business, how to do anything travel agent related, this is your time to ask. So who wants to go first? Anyone? You can also put your questions in the chat.
Okay, nobody's jumping, so I'll go.
Go for it.
So I guess I have a couple of questions. So one, I didn't understand how the whole assigning yourself to as your own travel advisor thing worked. And so when I first came on, I already had a trip booked with MSE and I've already paid for it. Um, but then I saw a post the other day in on the Facebook group about how once you finish the master's training about being diamond. And I was curious how that works because I did the status match with my carnival rewards on MSC, but I mean, if I can be diamond on MSC, that'd be great.
So, I mean, good question. None of us really knows how that works. Um, and
Yeah.
and and with that post the other day, a lot of people were like, "Huh, we didn't know that could happen." So, with the master's program being down, we can't even investigate it to see what it says. So, I mean, we had one agent say that if you complete master's, um, you become a diamond. And Bobby's our MSC connoisseur. in here, and she hasn't even heard of that yet. So we don't really know what the deal actually is. I've never seen anything that says that. Um, so again, with the program being down, we can't investigate it.
Okay. Is it too late to add myself? I mean, I know that I've already paid for it and I know I wouldn't get a commission on it, but can I still add myself as the agent of record?
No,
Okay.
once you pay for it in full, you can no longer change over the booking.
Okay.
And there's usually a time limit too. I don't recall what MSC's time limit is as far as how long you have to switch over usually. So Bobby says 60 days. Um, depending on the cruise line, it's usually 30 to 90 days. 90 days Carnival will allow you to, but most are in the 30 to 60-day range, and the reservations cannot be paid in full.
Yeah, stupid me. I turned around and paid it and I shouldn't have.
So just a word to the wise, and what I do, and I tell my clients, and you can take this with a grain of salt whether you want to do it or not. I tell my clients not to pay their cruises off until last minute. And the reason for that is because if you give the cruise line all your money in the beginning and something happens where you can't go on the trip, whatever the circumstances, now you got to fight to get all that money back. Whereas you know, if you only have put down a deposit, and now you have a non-refundable um, deposit that for some reason you have to cancel, you're only out that $200 or whatever your deposit was. Not only that, you're giving them money that they're sitting on for 9 months to a year or however long, whereas you can keep that in your bank and have that money working for you. That's just my take on that. You guys can do whatever you choose to do with that. Um, but it's worked out. I've had a couple clients cancel trips lately, and the only thing they've paid is the deposit. So, now I'm not as the agent trying to fight to get their money back. All right, let me look at some of these questions here. Was that it, Mariana? Did you have anything more?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay. Who would I contact if I don't have access or login information? I haven't received tests and I have access to our CCL, but do not access to Espresso. All right, Justin's answered that. Look under agent access and look for the picture with who is responsible for the supplier and test assistance. Well, that's a little confusing. So look in the contact information. You're going to contact, I think it's Molly that's doing tests. And then for supplier information, I believe it's Allison. I think that's what Justin was trying to say.
Yeah, but just be patient about with Molly. Amy posted something about, I don't know
Yeah,
what took place. So,
Molly's got something going on, so it may be a while. Check your spam folder too, because usually people don't have their test because it's in their spam folder. To Koya, I don't understand what you're saying. What agent number are you talking about? Are you talking about the CLIA number? What are you
Yes,
talking about?
yes, that number.
So there's two CLIA numbers. One's tied to the agency, which is Cornerstones. That's what we use to register for suppliers. Okay. The personal CLIA number is used for many different things. CLIA is an organization that most people in the travel agency, most suppliers and stuff belong to. They provide training, specialized training where you can get certified, especially in cruises, in different levels of being a cruise expert. More importantly, where most people use them for is they have bonus commissions that they offer, when you book with cruise lines, and you can get discounts through suppliers. So a lot of suppliers offer travel agent discounts, but in order for them to verify that you are actually a travel agent, you need that CLIA number. And so coming next month, CLIA will be opening enrollment for 2026 to get your personal CLIA number. Personally, I haven't used a CLIA number for a discount yet, but I have applied for those bonus commissions, which have already paid for the CLIA commission. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a specific way you should book cruises and travels for yourselves? No, there isn't. You, um, there's a couple ways that you can book it. Cruises specifically, you can't do net bookings on cruises, so you would book it just like you would for a client, but underneath your name, and then you would just collect the commission on your own booking. You put it in the test the same way as you would anything else. But there's also suppliers, mostly for hotels and stuff, that allow you to do net bookings, which you basically take your commission out, and then you have a lower rate. And again, you would just put that in the test as well. Anything you book through our supplier should be put in the test, whether you get a commission or not. And the reason for that is corporate and the suppliers keep track of those numbers. The more we sell, the higher commission tier we get with those suppliers. So even if I'm not getting a commission, the amount that I am purchasing goes towards those numbers. So brand new agent as of Sunday. How long did it take most of you to feel like you were really understanding everything? Yeah, yeah, Bobby hit it on the head. It just takes time. And what I tell new agents is just to take your time. It's very easy to get overwhelmed with all the information that you're going to learn. So go at your own pace, learn at your own pace. For some of us, I had the time to dive in, and within a couple months, I had a really good understanding of how things work. But I was, on my computer, almost 24/7 when I wasn't sleeping or working. So I was soaking up the information. Um, Not everybody is like that. So, just go at your pace, take your time. Don't let it overwhelm you. We are here to help. And that's what's great about Cornerstone is we're one big family. Cornerstone's a family-owned business, and we treat everybody like family, and we want everybody to be successful. So you have the Facebook group, you have these Q&As for help. So just take your time. Morning, Jennifer. Hi, Millie. I saw you guys pop in here. So I've looked at the training on marketing, but I would love to hear about how everyone started. I want to separate my personal social media from my travel one. I started a Facebook business page, and which I think many of us have done, and started going from there. And then I announced, on my personal page that I'm a travel agent and that I'm, booking trips now. Believe it or not, most of my traffic comes from my personal page. I don't get a whole lot of traffic from my business page. So, that's something to consider. I've also posted flyers in my local grocery stores and anywhere there's a public board, as well as cards I've put on those boards as well. All right, who else has a question? Jennifer, you're good for a couple questions.
I'm just going to add on to the last question. I am an elder millennial and not very social. I don't know. I'm not very social savvy. And I jumped on TikTok right when I first started and literally maybe have 100 followers. But my first client somehow came from TikTok, like somebody, a total stranger. I had just posted about a ship, and yeah, so can happen from anywhere. And, you know, you got to be aware of the scams. A lot of people are going to reach out via social, and
Right.
there are going to be a lot of catfishes and scammers, but you just start, you know, and your leads will come from the unexpected places, in my experience.
TikTok scares me.
I know, me too.
Um, but to be honest, anytime I go somewhere and I meet somebody new, and you're always being cordial with them. Hey, how you doing? How's things going? And I'll say, I'm really I'm really busy with my business. And that usually leads them to say, well, what's your business? And I'll say, I'm a travel agent. I'm actually a firefighter by day, travel agent by night, but I leave the whole firefighter thing out. And usually that leads into a conversation about travel. And I would tell people, it doesn't cost you anything to use a travel agent. I could usually find better pricing. I don't say deals because that leads people to think that you're really going to get them something. Um, so I say you can usually find better pricing, or I can find you the best available pricing. Um, And my first client, who was actually coming back today from their trip, she was a receptionist at my chiropractor. Right after I started this business, I walked in, and again, I said, I'm busy. I started a new business. And she said, well, what are you doing? I said, I'm a travel agent. And she looked me dead in the eye and said, really? I'm trying to plan my honeymoon, and I freaking hate planning my honeymoon. Do you want to do it for me? And I said, sure. She basically had it all planned out. I just had to find the pricing and stuff for her. But they are actually coming back today from their honeymoon. So I hope it went well. So I will find out. But she was my first client. And it's just those simple conversations that lead into bookings. So Takoya says, I'm going on a cruise in 2 weeks and would like to be a duck hider. Would it be tacky or against any policy to leave ducks with QR codes to my social travel site? It depends on the cruise line. You have to be very careful with that. QR codes, I believe, are acceptable. Um, so, depending on the cruise line, I know some cruise lines are really cracking down on the ducks, especially I think Royal is cracking down on hiding ducks in their plants and stuff. So, yep. So yeah, it's Royal. So I wouldn't hide any ducks in plants. Just hide them, wherever you can, and just be very careful.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of reiterate on this. They're kind of peculiar about you poaching or you being whatever. What I do is I self promote. I take business card holders and I put magnets on them and I stick them on the outside of my door. If somebody wants to grab and I have QR codes to my social media platforms. If somebody wants to come by and do that, then I'm not pestering people, so to say. I haven't, nothing has been said to me for that purpose. So, take that as you will.
Can they see your cards, Justin, on the door?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they know
Yeah.
if they walk by, they know you're a travel agent?
Yes. I've made some stuff in Canva. Here again, I made my QR codes that lead to my social media. I put magnets on them with the sticker magnets, stick on the outside of my door. I'm not going up bothering people with the stuff. Now, if it comes up in conversation, then it does. But as they walk by my door, then they can scan the QR codes and stuff like that. And I've had,
Hey,
officers.
Justin,
Yeah.
will you just run? I gotta go answer my door real quick.
Okay. Um, I'm not here again. I'm not pestering people. I'm not, they come by if they want to be bothered by stopping and grabbing something or scanning the QR code, then so be it. That's on them. So yeah, just ways around things. I don't think I have a picture of my door. So, Johnny said he'll be right back, y'all. So any more questions? Bobby, when's your next MSC cruise? You seem like you're on the cruises all the time too.
It's coming up next month. I'm going World Europa out of Barcelona. We're doing the Med again. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Every time I don't know if you just do like I do and you just posting stuff from previous cruises, but
Yeah,
it looks like you're on
basically.
it. Oh, okay. I look like I'm on a cruise every week.
School's back in session. It's harder to just get away, get it. The kids.
What's been the most successful out of those marketing tips? As far as what, Miss Nikki?
Of all the ideas you gave, what do you feel like you see the most return on investment for all the all the things that you're saying you've done, which are all amazing? Which one do you think you see the most return on investment from?
Putting myself out there, talking. Like Johnny said, there's not a conversation that doesn't come up where I am somewhere that travel does not enter the conversation in some form or fashion. I know people get tired of hearing me talk about it, but this is something I'm passionate about, something I enjoy. And this is something I'm trying to build for supplemental retirement. So I'm really pushing it hard. So there's, don't be, the old saying, scared money doesn't make money. Don't be, you can't be an introvert to do this job, so to say. You've got to put yourself out there and make it known what you do. Um, that's that's how I operate. But yeah, talking to people, and I've got like I said, I've had a lot of people walk by through my doors and scan my stuff on my doors. I bought the little magnet sticky sheets from Amazon, had my stickers cut out, had my business cards, cut them out with a craft cutter, and stick them on there. But that just conversation, what works for me. Go ahead, John.
How do they know that it's what you're putting on your door is travel agent related?
Because I have Firehouse Travels above the QR code or below the
Okay.
QR code, and then here again I got my business cards.
So that's the sticky point, because a lot of cruise lines don't allow promotion like that. So, that's you haven't been caught yet, but that can be a fine line. So I would do that cautiously.
Yeah, and if they come by and told me to take it down, but then by all means I would with no questions asked. But till they tell me to do so.
So and Nikki, one thing I always do is I post on social media when somebody has booked. I won't use their real names, but I'll say, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. M, for booking their Mediterranean cruise with me. And so that puts that out there, for all my friends to see that I'm actually doing this business and people are actually using me. And so it puts it in their head that, I'm available. I've had people come to me and say, hey, my friend wants to do this, can you help them? So I've gotten referrals just for putting that out there. The more, like Justin said, the more you talk about it, the more people you're gonna have, remember you.
I might not know everything yet, but talking about it, not going to be a problem.
Well, there you go.
I was going to say something the contrary. I am the opposite of Justin and Johnny here. I am more
Oh, yeah.
introverted and don't put myself out there. And so I honestly have talked to one client of all of my clients. I do most of my stuff via DM and email, but getting the first couple clients, whether it's family, strangers, and just serve them really, really, really well, because the referrals that you're going to get
Mhm.
from those first few clients, like even if you're not making very good, like much money or commission, just like that first couple people have really helped me grow just because they've referred me to people that I just, wouldn't have seen coming otherwise and probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So that would be my best advice. Just like start slow and serve the ones you have really well.
So Crystal says, I'm completely new to this. Quick question. Did you start off focusing on just one area, such as booking vacations within the US or internationally, and then expand into other areas like cruises as you become more familiar with the system? So a majority of people that have joined Cornerstone focus on cruises, and they focus on the cruises. They branch out to, the consolidators, because you need the consolidators for those pre-cruise bookings, and then generally branch out from there to doing more, more trips, whatever, it's basically whatever you're comfortable with. For me, I branched out to everything pretty quickly, because I'm comfortable doing that. I planned my own trip to Europe this last summer, so I'm very comfortable with planning Europe trips. Um, so it really is, it's based on what you want to do with your business. There are people that just focus on one or two cruise lines and that's it. Um, they don't do anything else. I'm a one-stop shop, even though my business name is Three Ps Cruise Travel and More. Um, and the reason my name is Three Ps Cruise Travel is because in the beginning of this, everybody kept saying focus on your niche, and my niche was cruise travel. But in reality, I do it all. I probably would go back and not put cruise travel in my name, um, because it confuses people. They think that's all I do. So, um, it really all depends on what you want to do. Take your time, do what you're comfortable with, and then as you get more comfortable, then branch out. Are travel agents able to help or assist people who have timeshares? Not really, because once you have a timeshare, you're locked into, the terms and conditions of the timeshare. So there's really not much a travel agent can do with that. Yes, I can rebrand, and I may eventually do that, Bobby. Um, we'll see. Maybe my next iteration of cards, I won't put cruise travel, but I have an LLC and stuff, so my LLC, I probably could change that, once I have to re-up the name and stuff. And people thought you were, I mean, there is a market. I mean, Justin and I know firefighters. I know firefighters who travel around the country and that's all they want to do is go see firehouses. So you might have a niche there.
I'm trying to get out of them. What you talking about? I'm ready to retire.
Well, see, that's a good retirement gig. Can you imagine being the battalion chief, getting that phone call? Yeah, I run a organization that we visit firehouses. Can we come visit your firehouse?
It's actually good
Call it.
marketing. Give them a tour of the firehouse and then hand out your business cards and be like, hey, I can plan your next vacation too.
Well,
Call it call it a
and honestly,
circus.
firehouses being public entities, they really can't refuse to not give you a tour unless there's good reason.
Yeah, I'll stick to the blue waters of the Caribbeans and all inclusive.
Oh, I could use a trip with the ocean view right now.
I check in tonight at midnight.
Whatever. I I I have another week before I have to make my final payment on my cruise. All right. Keep those questions coming. We're having a good session today, it seems like so far. And I apologize for having to go answer my door. There's a package I was expecting that I had to sign for. So, of course, they came right in the middle of this session. Anybody else? Carla, how you doing? You have any questions? What's the best vacation I have booked and taken? I just have to say my Europe trip was just simply amazing. But I planned it, down to the nearest detail. Um, for myself. I would do the same for clients, and I have done the same. I've had a couple clients since my European trip, come to me and take almost the exact same type of trip. And, I had a lot of good suggestions for them. Not only suggestions, but suggestions for tours and who to contact, how to do things. Anybody else want to chime in? Justin, what's the best vacation you've ever taken?
All of them. No. I mean, I love cruising. Probably my favorite destination has been Grand Cayman. That was probably my best one.
I've never been to. I'm dying to get there.
It's beautiful. It's so safe. It's beautiful. We just rode public transportation all the way around and ate toward the just done on personal excursion and of course this is before I became a travel agent. But yeah, it was great.
So
Yeah,
personal pref sorry, Justin, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say they're all great though.
So personal preferred cruise line, that really depends on the person. I've only experienced three, and the one, which is Princess, was my very first cruise back when I was 18. So with kids, we've traveled mostly Carnival. I've been on Royal a couple times in between. Uh, there's good and bad, and I wouldn't say good and bad. There's some differences between the two. I really don't have a preference between the two because both offer different things. So I'm looking forward to branching out and checking out other cruise lines. So again, I don't really have a preferred one personally. Now Justin prefers Royal, but I don't think you've really tried anything else, have you?
I've been on Carnival. I want to go on the MSC. I know I call her the MSC Queen. That's what I call Jill Princess Queen.
Well, that's the thing too. Yeah.
But you know, Carnival. I mean, Royal is such a family atmosphere, and I have a little one, 6-year-old. So you know, that just works for us. And then I know it's social media, but the bad publicity that Carnival has, I'm just you know, and I have family that's Norwegian. They won't do nothing else but Norwegian. So here again, it's like Johnie said, it's all personal preference for yourself, and then your client's, personal preference. I'm very biased, but that's just because of the experiences I've experienced with Royal. But here again, I will eventually get on MSC and some things, but right now I'm just trying to build my status with Royal.
So I'm not a status seeker myself, but um, my whole thing is I want to try them all at least one time so I can tell my clients, my experiences. Yes, I've had the most experience on Carnival. Royals right there with it. I've been on Princess once. I wanted to try Princess again. Um, I have family that travels on multiple cruises several times a year. They prefer Princess Celebrity in Holland, but they are older. Um, so it all depends. I do want to try MSC. MSC seems to be the best bang for the buck right now. Um, so I definitely wanted to try them. It's a matter of time and money, right? If I had more time and more money, I would already have tried a lot of this stuff. So, we will see. Um, so Takoya, to answer your question, how does purchasing onboard credit work? Most cruise lines allow you to purchase onboard credit, but I'm not sure where you're getting with that question. Like, why would you purchase onboard credit? There are ways you can offer onboard credit to your clients, whether it's through a promo or through Travel Leaders Network and their cruise space offerings. Um, have been times that I have told clients I will send them onboard credit just so that I could book with them or they can book with me.
So that's a way that we can just do, I guess, like an extra gratitude or a thank you or something like that.
Sure. And each cruise line has their ways of doing it.
Okay.
So I know with Princess, and I love this about Princess, you can give onboard credit through Princess and have them just take it out of your commission. That way you're not purchasing with their credit card and stuff. I love that idea.
Are you asking about Royal too, Takoya?
Yes, mainly Royal, because that's where I'm starting and that's where my heart lies.
Yeah. You can go through Cruise and Power Expresso, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see a spot where it says purchase onboard credits. And you had to put in their booking number, and it's increments to $25. So I do that as well. I mean, I know Johnie he's big on the Travel Leaders Network, which I also move him into the groups as well. But then if I want to offer more, just to do a better incentive, or if somebody's got this price, can you do this price? Well, no, I can't do this price, but I can give you this much onboard credit. So
Exactly, and I do a lot of presentations on using Travel Leaders Network in the groups. I would definitely look into that. Um, Even if you guys want me to go over, I'd be happy to go over with, but it seems like we're getting a lot of questions today. So, maybe we'll wait towards the end and I can go over how that works. I know many of you guys have seen it. So at the end, if you want to stick around, I'll go over it, and then, everybody who's seen me talk about it can leave. But yeah, I mean, there's always a way to offer that onboard credit. So trying to
Can I
catch up here.
ask actually on a question of that? Because I know you guys offer a little bit more onboard credit than I do sometimes. I haven't obviously met with an accountant about this, but I just bounce it off you guys as trainers. Isn't there tax implications if you're gifting more than $25 per client? And maybe you may not be aware. That's the only reason I've stuck to that amount, because in my mind, for some reason, in my business knowledge, I feel like after $25, you start running into taxable. You can only write off up to $25, basically. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or are we just
Um, I don't mean whatever it is, it is. Um, but I typically don't give much. And if it is, it's like an additional $25 or so, maybe 50. So I'm not giving like $100 at a time, but that's also why like I really love the Princess thing, because you can take it out of your commission, and then you don't have to worry about taxes, you know, in that aspect.
good point? I didn't think about that. I don't do much princess, so obviously they may be the rare one. I don't Royal doesn't obviously let you do that, right?
Um, yes, you just have to purchase it
Okay.
yourself.
Yeah. Not out of the commission is what I meant.
Right. Which is the majority of them. That's the way you have to do it. You have to purchase it outside. So I'm just doing a quick Google search, and this is what it says about those deductions. It says, as a travel agent, you can deduct up to $25 per person per year for business gifts given to clients and business associates. While you can give more expensive gifts, the tax write-off is capped off at this amount. So there you go.
Good thing I paid for all that school. Still paying for it. No kidding.
We are always learning. Life is a big lesson. Okay. Next question. You guys are blowing up chat today. I love it. Anything. Do you guys want me to go over how Travel Leaders Network works with the cruise space? I usually spend a little bit of the Q&A doing that, especially once we get, newer people in who aren't familiar with it. Okay, I just want to make sure there's no other questions before I do that.
I know this is a sore topic for you, but who all in here is coming to a convention? Sorry, Johnny.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss you, pal. I know. I know. I think Bobby is. I am. Anybody else, or everybody too new? Jennifer. Oh, that's you was lucky. You got somebody's tickets. I saw that on the Facebook.
Yeah, but Bobby, I don't know if if you caught me talking about that, but my doctor said I can't travel to convention.
Trish.
I'll just be starting to walk anyways, and it would be very difficult for me to get around. So logistically, uh, and collectively, we made that decision. Plus, for those of you who don't know, I broke my leg as a firefighter on duty on a call, and through work comp. Once the doctor tells you you can't do something, you can't do something. So I don't want to jeopardize any of that. And I'm extremely heartbroken. Been looking forward to convention all year. Yeah, Justin said he would roll me around in a wheelchair. Logistically, it's just me being able to get to the airport, rolling around the airport. The doctor said I shouldn't fly just because of my injury. So logistically, it would be a nightmare. It'd be very difficult. Add ship inspections on there. It'd be difficult to do a ship inspection. And like I said, I am absolutely heartbroken. You guys have all become part of my family, and it just tears me apart knowing that I won't be there. So, yeah, I know, Jennifer. Like I said, logistically, it would just be a lot. So, with that said, and like I said, my doctor said he doesn't want me going. So, as soon as he said that, there's no negotiating, unfortunately. Um, again, because it's workers' compensation. Um, if it was something stupid that I did, I probably would just go anyways. But all right. So let's get into this. Uh, enough feeling sorry for myself. Justin, we'll just keep rubbing it in. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go into cruising power, and then I'm also gonna go into agent access, which I happen to have. It's not agent access, agent universe. Okay, so Agent Universe is the gateway into the Travel Leaders Network. Now, Travel Leaders Network is a consortium. They're an organization that hosts a bunch of trainings and stuff for other agencies and such, and they offer perks. One of those perks is that they take group space on almost every cruise out there. There are a couple cruise lines that don't participate with Travel Leaders Network, and that's Carnival and MSC. But we're going to go into agent access. We're going to come down here to search promos and cruise space. In the middle here, we're going to hit cruise space offers. And I do this on every cruise that I book. I come here and look to see if there's anything available, because then I can pass it on to the client. So some of you are probably tired of me doing this, but I'm going to use my cruise that I'm going on in January. So that's on a Royal, and I'm going to pick January of 2026. And the reason I use this cruise because I'm familiar, I use this as an example, and I know some of the things that are being offered. So this is on the Utopia of the Seas. So I'm going to narrow it down even more to pick Utopia and then search offers. So it's going to pick all the Utopia sailings. Maybe. It's running a little slow. There we go. And I'm going on this January 5th sailing. So I'm going to click on this. Now this is going to say they have an offer. And any of those that were listed under the search have some type of amenity attached to it. In this case, it's $50 onboard credit. And down here, it will tell you how to book that. So it doesn't matter what cruise line it is, always read the booking instructions. Now, what makes this is unique is, for some reason, Expresso knows that we're a part of Travel Leaders Network. So it's got it built already into their booking engine. There's a couple other cruise lines that are like that already. Virgin is one of them. You'll see the amenity offers already populate in bookings for Virgin. And I think Princess, even in Princess, the TLN codes will pop up, but make sure you read those booking descriptions. So I'm gonna click on here in Espresso to Utopia of the Seas, because I know that there's some type of amenity. January 5th, and I'm just gonna search the pricing. Now, right here in Espresso, right at the top of the header, shows Travel Leaders Network headquarter group and the amenity of $50 onboard credit. Over here, as I scroll down, you're going to see 3 columns. The left column is going to be Royal's best promo rate available to you. And then over here on all the way to the right is going to be the best rate, group rate. As we scroll down, a lot of the group space has been closed out already. But here, as we get down to the ocean view balcony, I see that the best available promo rate through Royal on the ocean view balcony is $1289.69. But I have a group space allocation right here for $1036.66. That's a savings of almost $500 between 2 people. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to book them into the group, directly into the group. And that's going to get them $50 onboard credit plus the savings of, close to that $500. So this is important because sometimes you'll have clients come to you and say, hey, I'm finding this price online. Can you beat it? That's when you can come into these Travel Leaders Network group spaces and see if there's any group space available. Because sometimes those group rates will be better than the promo rates. And in this case, it is. And now you're saving this person $400 or $500 and giving them onboard credit. You're going to look like a rock star. Okay. Conversely, as we go down, and I know there was one the other day, I'm going to just use this as an example here. It's not the case right now. The group space all seems to be cheaper. So let's say just conversely, these the Central Park view balcony is switched up, where the promo rate is cheaper than the group rate. I'm obviously going to book them in with the promo rate, and that's how I actually booked my cruise. It was cheaper than any group rate. I didn't book directly into the group when I booked. But let's say it's 1035 over here on the Royal's best rate, and it's 1119 over here on the group rate. I'm gonna book them, on the best promo rate. I'm gonna go through booking, get them all booked in. Okay, you're gonna finish up your booking and get that all done. Once you have done that, you have the option of transferring them into the group. And in order to do so, you got to pull that booking back up or just leave it up. I'm going to pull my personal booking up here because I'm going to show you where you would do that. Okay, so this is my personal booking. On the left side in the gray area is all your service things that you can do. You can check promos and see if you can reprice. You can change staterooms, all that stuff. Check for flights, add gratuities, add any special services, do cross-referencing, add transfers in hotels, and so on and so forth. And I believe, Justin, when you were talking about onboard credit, it's through the cruise planner, is it not? So anyways, when you go down here, you're gonna come down to manage, and right at the top of this manage, there will be a link here that says transfer to group. So you're going to click transfer to group. It's going to ask you which group you want to transfer in. It should list the Travel Leaders Network group, which generally is the only group available to you to transfer into. You're going to click on that group and hit transfer. It's going to give you a warning if you've already added gratuities. It's going to tell you that it's going to take the gratuities out and then re-add them in after the transfer is completed. And the reason for that is sometimes group gratuities are different than the regular gratuities. Okay. So it will add those gratuities back in. The reservation will be transferred into the group. And the way you can verify that after a while, usually a day or two, you can come back into your booking, come down to the final pricing. And you're going to see up here a group ID. It says I'm already added into the group, Travel Leaders Network, headquarter group. And then down here at the very bottom, you're going to see $50 gap onboard credit. Okay. With the promo I got an additional $50 onboard credit, but here we go. We have $50 onboard credit for this booking.
And Johnny, no, the cruise planner purchases, that's where you can see if Royal ever has any issues of refunding, because I've had issues with them refunding too much. But if you go to the beginning, go to home there, and then scroll down. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Right there. Second section. One more up. Purchase onboard credits. You'll click there.
Yeah. Cruise enhancement.
Yeah.
Okay. Because earlier you said in the booking or something that you would see it.
Do what?
I said earlier, I believe you said that when you go into the booking, you would see that.
Yeah, well, I mean, going into Espresso, you'll go down to the cruise enhancements there, and then you have to put in their booking number. Yeah.
So everybody sees that. So I'm going to go back here to Travel Leaders Network, and I'm going to show you they have what's called the amenity departure dates, which is usually the $50 onboard credit. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Then you had distinctive voyages, the culinary collection, and the car and driver collection. Distinctive voyages typically offer some type of excursion that's offered through Travel Leaders Network. A lot of times it includes a cocktail party. You have a host just for Travel Leader Network participants. The culinary collection has some type of food, usually some type of food excursion, with it. And car and driver sometimes has an excursion where you can actually, rent a car, usually a nice fancy car, and go around, whatever island you're on. I'm gonna use Holland as an example because I know Holland does a lot of distinctive cruises. So I'm gonna just try to search for one here. I'm gonna go in February, see what pops up. And let's pick this 7-day tropical in the Caribbean. All right, they're offering amenity departure of $25 onboard credit. But let's pick this 14-day Philippines. Okay, that's onboard credit too. I'm gonna narrow this down to distinctive white just so I can show you guys. Okay. So here's a 11-day or 11-night on Celebrity Panama Canal cruise. And so here the culinary offer is $100 specialty dining credit per person. You get a distinctive voyage host, a private reception party, and an exclusive shore event, plus the $100 specialty dining credit. That's a pretty good deal. Now, not all of them will tell you what the excursion is going to be, but here's the excursion. It's a 4-hour on Curacao. It tells you all about the tour. I'm not going to read it for right now. You can send your clients the flyer for it. That will tell them that they're going to be offered this. And then it also says they're going to get an invitation to a private welcome reception, and then they get the amenities above. So they'll get the exclusive shore event, which is here in Curacao, and then the $100 specialty onboard credit, which is a good deal. And again, that's just more fluff that you can give to your client. where otherwise they would not get that. So always come to the Travel Leaders Network, look at to see what's available to them. And again, you will look like an absolute rock star when you go above and beyond and be able to offer them all this stuff. Okay. So that's a quick overview. I could spend hours going over that stuff. Again, it's a great feature available to us. So why not use it? I hope that helped you out, Crystal and Millie. Anybody else? All right, we're getting down to the last couple minutes. So is there any other questions I can help you with? Nope. All right, folks, I want to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate everybody coming today. I think this is one of our better sessions that we've had in the last couple weeks. So I really appreciate everybody being here. It's good to see everybody. As always, Bobby, nice to see you and thanks for participating. Justin, you've always been a great help. Again, if you guys have any questions, just check out the Facebook page, ask your questions there, and we'll be happy to answer them. In the meantime, everybody have a great day, and there's going to be another Q&A later today, as well as a Wavemaker session with Royal Caribbean. So you don't want to miss that. Leslie's going to be there. And booking Q&A Thursday, more Q&As on Saturdays. Just check that training cabinet or calendar out and you'll be good to go. See you guys.